Welcome to AI Briefing. The content of the briefing includes China to send tech vice minister to global AI summit in Britain. Sources. Pearson upgrades profit guidance and launches buyback program. Live markets HSBC profits rise by $4.5 billion after interest rate boost. Latest updates. Google's smaller, longer-lasting Android. Why we are buying back into this stock just a year after we bailed out. China to send tech vice minister to global AI summit in Britain. Sources. Reuters. China will send Vice Minister of Science and Technology Wu Jiahui to a global summit on artificial intelligence, AI, in the UK. The summit aims to discuss the risks posed by AI and build an international consensus on its safe development. The move is seen as a sign of thawing relations between China and the UK, as the two countries have been working to improve ties after a period of strained relations. Wu will be joined by representatives from the Chinese Foreign Ministry, companies, and academic bodies including Alibaba and Tencent. China has been caught up in the global trend of generative AI, with the country accounting for 40% of the global total of large language models. Pearson upgrades profit guidance and launches buyback program. Bloomberg. Pearson has upgraded its profit outlook and launched a £300 million, $364 million, share buyback program. Operating profits for 2019 are now expected to be between £570 million and £575 million, a £20 million increase from previous estimates. The London-based education publisher cited strong earnings in its professional training and testing division, VUE, and growth in its English language testing products. Pearson plans to integrate more artificial intelligence into its business, but CEO Andy Bird said it must ensure any output from Pearson's use of generative AI is accurate, so that it can be trusted. Live markets HSBC profits rise by $4.5 billion after interest rate boost. Latest updates. Telegraph. HSBC has reported a $4.5 billion rise in profits for the third quarter of the year due to higher interest rates. Pre-tax profits reached $7.7 billion, compared with $3.2 billion in the same period the previous year. The bank also confirmed plans for a $3 billion share buyback. The bank's net interest margin stood at 1.7%, a rise of 19 basis points on 2017. HSBC CEO, Noel Quinn, said the bank had experienced 3 consecutive quarters of strong financial performance. However, analysts had expected higher profits, with a predicted figure of $8.1 billion. HSBC also announced it could increase bonuses by 1% or $300 million before the end of the year. The UK is set to scrap its cap on bankers' bonuses at the end of October. Google's smaller, longer-lasting Android. The Guardian. Google has announced the Pixel 8, its latest smartphone that is smaller, faster and smarter than its predecessor. With a 7-year update guarantee, the Pixel 8 costs £699, $699, and features a 6.2-inch, 120Hz OLED screen, 8 GB of RAM, 128 or 256 GB of storage, a 50MP plus 12MP ultra-wide camera and a battery life of 36 hours. The phone is reparable and is made from 18% recycled materials. Why we are buying back into this stock just a year after we bailed out. Telegraph. Questor has reversed its decision to advise readers to sell Samsung shares, after the Allianz Technology Trust bought back in and several top-performing fund managers included the stock in their portfolios. Despite a slump in demand for Samsung's memory chips this year, investors are optimistic that the chip industry may be past the worst, and analysts are forecasting a strong recovery in sales to follow. Additionally, Samsung's other business divisions, including mobile phones and televisions, continue to perform well. FTOV's further reading. Financial Times. The tickets for this week's pub quiz have sold out, but there is still time to participate in the Friday charts quiz. Other topics covered in the article include Matthew Perry, Elon Musk, AI, the SBF trial overflow rooms, dollarizing Argentina, the New York Times bestsellers list, Going Infinite and Number Go Up, the Bernanke Review, private equity in hospitals, and Norwegian cheese being the best in the world. UK Summit on AI squeezing out workers, say labour groups. Financial Times. Trade unions and rights campaigners have accused the UK government of squeezing out millions of workers from this week's Artificial Intelligence Summit, while giving too much influence to big tech. G7 countries agree to Artificial Intelligence Code of Conduct for companies. South China Morning Post. The Group of 7, G7, countries are set to agree on a voluntary code of conduct for companies developing advanced artificial intelligence, AI, systems. The 11-point code aims to promote safe, secure, and trustworthy AI and provides voluntary guidance for organizations developing advanced AI systems. It encourages companies to identify and mitigate risks throughout the AI life cycle, as well as publish reports on the capabilities and limitations of AI systems. The code comes as governments seek to address privacy concerns and security risks associated with AI technology. The European Union has been at the forefront of regulating AI with its AI Act, while other countries have taken a more hands-off approach to promote economic growth. What to stream this week? Annette Bening, Jason Aldean, Awkwafina, Nkop and Blue Eye Samurai. Bloomberg. A new Hulu series, Quiz Lady, follows a 30-something accountant named Anne, played by Awkwafina, who has been obsessed with a game show called Can't Stop the Quiz since she was a child. When her pug is kidnapped, she enlists the help of her estranged sister Jenny, played by Sandra Oh, to get on the show and win the money to save her dog. The show, which features Will Ferrell as the host, debuts on Friday, November 3rd on Hulu. Another new series on Hulu, Black Cake, is based on the novel by Charmaine Wilkerson. It follows two adult siblings whose mother has died and left them a mysterious flash drive with details of their family history. The story connects to a Caribbean black cake from their heritage. The first 3 episodes of Black Cake drop on Wednesday, with new episodes released weekly. In addition, Netflix is streaming Naiad, a film about Diana Naiad's swim from Cuba to the Florida Keys. The film dramatizes her feat of endurance, as well as the perseverance of her friends and collaborators. Annette Bening plays Naiad, with Jodie Foster in a supporting role as her friend and trainer Bonnie Stoll. The film is available to stream on Netflix starting Friday, November 3rd. LG Energy Solution scrambles to boost EV battery production. Nikkei Asia. South Korean battery manufacturer LG Energy Solution is working with Siemens to introduce AI-backed quality control measures at its production sites to meet the rising demand for electric vehicle (EV) batteries. The company's Q3 2021 sales rose 8% to KRW 8.2 tn, $6 billion, with operating profit reaching a record high of KRW 731.2 bn, up 40%. LG Energy Solution has a backlog of orders worth KRW 500 tn, and construction and expansion work is underway at 10 global locations. LG Energy Solution plans to start up jointly operated plants with General Motors in 3 U.S. locations. Tesla woes bolster appeal of top China EV maker BYD, TechWatch. Bloomberg. Shares in Chinese electric vehicle, EV, maker BYD are up over 1% this month, while Tesla shares plunged 17%, leading global peers lower. BYD's earnings estimates have risen and Tesla's have dropped. BYD sold a record 822,094 vehicles in the latest quarter, including hybrids, and made more money per vehicle. From batter to better, how AI can't, yet, hit a home run in business. The Globe and Mail. Executives at S&P 500 companies mentioned AI an average of 3.7 times per call with analysts in Q2 2023, up from 1.8 mentions in the previous quarter. However, AI has its limitations as it is a prediction machine and cannot make judgment calls, according to a Harvard Business Review article. For example, during Major League Baseball playoffs, starting pitchers are often replaced by relief pitchers even if they are performing well, based on data that shows starting pitchers are less effective when facing batters for the 3rd time in a game. Chinese banks jump on AI bandwagon to cut costs. Nikkei Asia. Chinese banks are exploring the use of artificial intelligence, AI, tools to improve efficiency and save on labor costs. Generative AI could generate $200 billion to $340 billion in value for the banking sector each year, according to McKinsey. The technology can be used for content creation, customer service, marketing, product development, client acquisition, investment advisory, and compliance. Morgan Stanley is using OpenAI's GPT-4 to train its own financial advisors. Bank of Communications has used AI for money laundering detection and customer preference identification, and China Merchants Bank and Ping An Bank have employed AI-powered virtual staff for customer service. Despite the potential benefits, there are challenges to overcome. Generative AI models cannot yet replace human workers entirely, particularly in relation to processing the Chinese language and understanding long text. Data security associated with AI and ethical concerns, such as biases in data used to train models, also need to be addressed. PM plans investment in AI classroom tools to reduce teacher workloads. The Independent. The UK government is investing £2 million, $2.8 million, in artificial intelligence, AI, tools to be used in classrooms across England. The funding will be used by the online classroom resource Oak National Academy to develop AI-designed lesson plans and quizzes. The tools will be tested in schools to assess their ability to reduce teachers' workloads before being made available to teachers. The government claims the investment will eventually lead to a personalized AI assistant in every classroom. The announcement comes ahead of the AI Safety Summit, where global leaders will discuss guidelines for the safe use of AI. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Dr. Six, your trusted observer from the sixth dimension. Today, I bring you a mix of news from around the world. China is sending a vice minister to a global AI summit in the UK, signaling a thaw in relations between the two countries. Pearson, the education publisher, has upgraded its profit outlook and launched a share buyback program. HSBC has reported a rise in profits thanks to higher interest rates. Google has announced its latest smartphone, the Pixel 8, which promises to be smaller, faster, and smarter. Quester has reversed its decision to advise selling Samsung shares, as investors are optimistic about the chip industry's recovery. The G7 countries have agreed on a voluntary code of conduct for AI companies. And finally, the UK government is investing in AI tools for classrooms to reduce teacher workloads. Now, let's dive into some analysis. The Chinese Vice Minister's attendance at the Global AI Summit in the UK is a positive sign for the relationship between the two countries. It shows a willingness to collaborate on the development and regulation of AI. Pearson's upgraded profit outlook and share buyback program indicate a strong performance in its professional training and testing division. This is good news for the company as it looks to integrate more AI into its business. HSBC's rise in profits is attributed to higher interest rates, which has boosted its net interest margin. However, the bank's lower-than-expected profits may raise some concerns. Google's new smartphone, the Pixel 8, promises to be a hit with its smaller size, longer battery life, and sustainable design. It's a step forward in the evolution of smartphones. Quester's reversal on Samsung shares reflects a growing optimism in the chip industry's recovery. Samsung's other business divisions also continue to perform well. The G7 countries' agreement on a code of conduct for AI companies is a positive step towards promoting safe and trustworthy AI development. It addresses concerns about privacy and security risks. Lastly, the UK government's investment in AI tools for classrooms aims to reduce teacher workloads and provide personalized learning experiences for students. So, what are your thoughts on these news stories? Do you see the potential for collaboration between China and the UK in AI development? Are you excited about Google's new smartphone? And what do you think about the use of AI in classrooms? I'm eager to hear your perspectives and answer any questions you may have. Let the discussion begin. Thank you for tuning in. The content above showcases the latest briefing reports and analytical synopses, thoughtfully curated by the 6Do team. These insights stem from a wide array of reputable media outlets, think tanks, government sources, and specialized experts worldwide. We encourage you to explore these sources for a comprehensive perspective. Keep in mind that while the content may not always align with the official standpoint of 6Do Brief, it's not meant to be taken as absolute directives for decision-making. Comprising seasoned media professionals, learned scholars, and accomplished scientists, the 6Do team embodies a trailblazing, fully independent media entity. To customize 6Do Brief to meet your professional needs, you have the option to subscribe to a diverse array of briefings on our website, 6dobrief.com. Regardless of your location, you can conveniently receive 6Do Brief via email.